Hi everyone, welcome to today's video. Today I decided to create a Valentine's Day date night look featuring the Natasha Denona Mini Love Palette and the ABH Soft Glam Palette. I felt like these two palettes went really well together because even though the Natasha Denona pulls really pink and purple, there are actually quite a few shades in the Soft Glam palette that are very similar despite all the orange and gold over here. So when I hold them up side by side, like I feel like these colors are potentially similar. This blending shade is very similar to down here in the corner. The highlight shade is very similar to this like gold, like these two together. So there are some very similar shades. So even if you don't own both palettes, I feel like you can create the same look using one or the other or very similar shades that you probably already have in your collection. So if you want to see how I created this makeup look, then just keep watching and we will get started. So I've already done my base, so my foundation, concealer, powder, bronzer, blush, did all of that already. So all that's left now will be the eyes and the lips, which I will be filming now. And then at the end, I think I'll also probably throw on some highlighter or something. So first things first, I'm gonna prime my eyelids with this Fenty Beauty primer. It's just a mini that I got from a little Sephora set a while ago. I can try to link it below, but I think the last time I checked, it was sold out, unfortunately. But something good to keep your eye on if it ever comes back in stock, because it came with this little primer and a mini fly liner, which I really like that liquid liner, and I want to say the whole set was like $15 or $20, which is just a really good price for being able to try out two of her products. So, primed my eyelids. I'm going to be using mostly the Natasha Denona Mini Love palette, but I also pulled out my Soft Glam palette because I feel like the colors complement each other and are actually very similar. So I'm going to kind of use a combo of both of those to create a Valentine's Day look. So I actually think the first color I'm going to pull is going to be from the Soft Glam palette, and I'm going to pull this color Burnt Orange right here. It comes across a little more brown to me than orange, but I'm going to just put that in my crease using a Sigma E40 brush. Just very lightly in my crease to kind of get that blend going as a base. Okay, so I know that doesn't scream Valentine's yet. It's not pink. I pulled more of an orange brown, but I just wanted that to be kind of the base of the crease, which is kind of a neutral tone to set it. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to pull in the Mini Love palette, and I'm going to take this matte shade right here, second from the end, and I'm going to do essentially the same thing, just over top that burnt orange color that we just used. Hopefully those layer well together. Kind of going for like maybe a little bit of like an ombre look in the crease. Ooh, I'm getting some fallout. Cool, gonna have to fix that. Can't tell if that was fallout from this Natasha Denona shade or the burnt orange shade. Okay, so that's the crease so far. That's pretty much the look I was going for. It's definitely more pink, but I feel like the burnt orange is still coming through a little bit. Next, back in the Mini Love palette, I'm gonna go into this middle shade, the dark shade. Sometimes I feel like this pulls more brown, sometimes it pulls more deep purple. Hoping it kind of goes more the purple route today. So I'm going to use an E24 diffused blending brush from Sigma to kind of just pat that on the outer part of the eyelid. Kind of doing the old school outer V technique. All right, so that is what that looks looking like. That's pretty much what I wanted. It's definitely pulling more purple than brown, at least In my opinion it is. So now for the all over lid shade, I'm going to go back into the Mini Love palette and I'm going to pull this last shade. It's looking very bright pink, but I would rather go for this shade because I think it's more of a purple pink than this one, which is like a true pink. So I'm just gonna use a shader brush. I think this is an old one from Urban Decay, but it's just a flat shader brush, so it kind of picks up the color so that I can pack it on. So I'm just going to get that on the brush, and then I'm going to tap it onto the eyelid. I'm gonna try putting it on my fingertip too, because I kind of want a little more color payoff. Yeah, that seemed to work better. So I'm just gonna use my fingertip for the other side as well. So that's the pink that I wanted. Now for the inner corner, I'm going to go in back to the Mini Love palette and use the highlight shade just on the inner corner. And what I've been doing in my inner corner is I'm kind of trying to, I've been putting it, you know, on the inner corner, but then I will get a little bit more and kind of drag it up into the crease, just in the upper third portion of the crease. And I think that kind of helps draw up and kind of lift the eye look, make it look a little more awake and brightened. Last thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go back into the Soft Glam palette and pick up that original burnt orange shade very lightly on the brush, like barely anything at all, and just kind of reblend the creases very lightly, just to kind of make sure everything gets blended together. So I hope this is translating on camera. That is the eye look currently. So now I'm going to do some liner. And I have my two liquid liners that are my favorites at the moment are the fly liners. I have the black and the brown. And I think I'm gonna go for the brown today. So I'm definitely not very skilled at doing like a wing or a cat eye. So I'm just gonna do a pretty basic straight line across. I'm just gonna do basic straight line for my eyeliner. So there's one eye done. I really do feel like eyeliner really helps bring a look together and make it look more complete and cohesive. And I think the brown was the right choice. It's a little softer, which is the overall look that I'm going for, a soft pink and like neutral look. So I think the brown was the right choice. So that is the brown eyeliner done. I really like how that turned out. Now for mascara, I'm gonna be using the Bite Beauty Upswing Mascara, this little mini one that I have. I feel like it's almost used up. It is pretty light and empty feeling, but I'm hoping I can squeeze out a few more uses before the end of the month. I will say, like I said in my Shop My Stash, while I do think, you know, on camera that's looking nice, like that's one done and that's not, you can definitely tell my lashes are lifted and black and separated. I still, like, I like it. I don't think it's bad. I just didn't understand why when Bite announced that it was going out of business, that so many people that I saw were like panic buying all of these, what was left. I was like, it's good, but it's not like the best mascara I've ever used. Like, it's good, but I think you can find comparable things at the drugstore. So I just didn't quite understand the like hysteria behind it, but it has been nice. And maybe some of that is having the mini size instead of a full A full size, maybe just the, you know, the brush is a lot stubbier and shorter, so it's harder for me to kind of control and use. So that could be some of it, but all in all, I do like this mascara. I don't think, even if Bite was still in business, I don't think I would go out and spend my money on a full size of this, full price. Because I want to say it was, I mean, it's a like more luxury brand at Sephora, prestige brand, whatever you want to call it, so. Okay, that is mascara done. Now, I don't normally do my brows on camera, but I just wanted to show what I've been using lately. Did I somehow get mascara on my forehead? Okay. I've gotten back into using my ABH brow powder. This is the, I mean, you can see how old this is, like the back is totally destroyed. This is the Blonde Brow Powder Duo. So it used to have two colors in it, like a lighter and a dark, and it was like separated. But eventually, you know, it was getting harder and harder to use, so I just repressed it all together as one powder, and it is basically the same shade. So I've been using this, and I just use a brow brush with a spoolie on the end and the brush on the other. Definitely not a pro at filling in my brows either. I've always had lighter, thinner, like more sparse brows, and I've always kind of struggled to really get the shape right, even when I'm filling them in, without it looking too fake. But that's why I think like the powder sometimes can be good. But yeah, this inner portion of my brows has just always been really light and sparse. So some days I don't even do this because it is kind of an extra step. I'll just throw on some tinted brow gel and call it a day, but today, special occasion, we're gonna try and fill them in. I think too, with like any type of, you know, makeup style or whatever, if you're used to seeing your face or a feature on your face a certain way, like I've always had the sparse brows, so that's just kind of what I'm used to seeing. Then when I fill them in, I'm like, oh, it looks so weird and like bushy, and like I don't know if I like it. But then, you know, I'm just like, well, that's what it would look like if you actually had brow hair. So that is that. Not perfect, but just for a quick brow. And then I'm going to top it off with my e.l.f. Wow Brow in the taupe shade just to set it. I'll also say everything that I used on my base was pretty much what I picked in my Shop My Stash video. That was from last week, so I will link that below. And in that linked video, there will be links to all the products that I used. So those are the eyes done. Now we'll do some lips. Again, I'm going to use a lip combo that I chose in that Shop My Stash video. So I'm going to start out using my Urban Decay Naked 2 lip liner. And all the products I chose for my lips are very neutral because I wanted, you know, this is so pink and bright, I kind of wanted a neutral lip. So, line my lips. For the lipstick, I'm going to use this Maybelline. I can't even read the bottom. It's like so faded and rubbed off. I want to say this is like a color sensational lipstick in like blushing beige or blushing nude or something. It's very, very neutral. Perfect. That's exactly what I wanted. To top it off, I'm going to use my e.l.f. lip lacquer in Fantasy. I bought this in the last month or two in an e.l.f. haul, which I will link that video below as well. That's perfect. I've been really liking this lip combo for an everyday lip as well, so I really like that I can wear it as an everyday look and then also as part of a more like glam look for going out. Last but not least, I think I'm gonna top off with a little bit of highlighter. I'm gonna be using my ColourPop Lunch Money highlight. This was also part of my Shop My Stash. And the way I like to use this is just with my finger and just kind of pat it on the areas of my face that I want it, and then I will kind of blend it out with a brush. So the high points of my cheeks. I do kind of like the bridge of my nose. Cupid's bow, and then this high point of my cheek. And then I will just take a blending brush. All right, this is my completed Valentine's Day look using the Natasha Denona Mini Love palette and the ABH Soft Glam palette. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. I would also appreciate if you would subscribe to my channel as I try to grow on YouTube, and that way you'll also be notified of any upcoming videos. I try to post a video once a week about makeup looks, trying new makeup, reviewing makeup, all kinds of stuff. I do a mixture of high-end and drugstore. So I would love to see you back for next week's video, and I will talk to you all next time. Bye.